There is something deeply comforting about knowing we are not wandering through life aimlessly. Somewhere beyond the noise, beyond the distractions, there is a place already prepared. A place of peace, designed not with cold perfection, but with love. It was never about golden palaces or marble steps. It was always about presence, divine presence. In the Father's house, there are many rooms. Not cold halls of silence, but warm spaces filled with light, where each soul is known by name. Imagine that, a room created for you, not because you earned it, not because you proved yourself worthy, but because you are loved. Loved by a heart that knew you before you took your first breath. Loved by a presence that watches your every step, not to judge, but to walk with you. And in that love, a promise was made. I am going to prepare a place for you. These words weren't spoken in poetry, they were spoken in truth, as clear as the stars on a quiet night. If it weren't true, he would not have said it. He would not have stirred our hearts with false hope, but he did say it, and he is preparing it. This promise is not a faraway fantasy, it's an anchor, a whisper to the soul that no matter how loud the storms may roar, there is a place waiting, not just a place of rest, but a place of reunion. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me. These are not words of abandonment. They are the words of someone who refuses to leave us behind, because to love someone is to want them near. And the divine heart desires that nearness with us. That's why we were told, do not let your hearts be troubled, because the future is already being prepared in love. Still, we often walk through life not knowing where we're going. We lose the map, we forget the promise. We stare at the sky and ask, how can we know the way? The path feels blurred, the noise of the world so loud, and the fear of being lost so real. But then there's the answer, simple and eternal. I am the way. The way is not a set of rules or a path carved in stone. The way is a person, a presence, a truth that moves, breathes, speaks, and walks beside us. I am the way and the truth and the life. Not a way. The way. A way that knows our pain, walks through our grief, rejoices in our laughter, and embraces our flaws. No one comes to the Father except through him, not because others are denied, but because only love can lead to love. And he is love. He continues, if you know me, you know the Father. And maybe you wonder, do I really know him? Have I seen enough, felt enough, believed enough? But he assures us, from now on, you do know him, and you have seen him. Because the Father isn't hidden behind thunder and clouds. The Father is seen in kindness, in compassion, in the quiet strength of those who choose forgiveness over pride. The Father is seen in him, in his words, in his eyes, in his unwavering love for the lost and the broken. Still, even those who walked beside him asked, show us the Father, that will be enough. Maybe that's the cry of your heart too, just one sign, just one vision, just one moment of proof. But he says gently, don't you know me even after all this time? And maybe that's where the truth lands deepest. Because love isn't about proving, it's about being. And he was there, all along. The Father isn't far. He lives in the words that heal, in the hands that lift, in the silence that comforts. I am in the Father, and the Father is in me. You don't need to see the heavens part to believe. You've already seen what matters. You've seen the works. You've felt the warmth. You've tasted the grace, and still something stirs. A new promise begins to unfold, one that goes beyond belief, something greater. And if we believe in him, then something extraordinary is about to be revealed. If these words touched your heart, we invite you to become part of our growing community. Click to subscribe and like this video. Your support helps us spread more light, more love, and more peace to hearts around the world. Let us know your name and where you're watching from in the comments. We'd love to greet you in our next message. We are one family of faith. Welcome. There are moments when the path ahead feels invisible, when we're caught between the silence of the sky and the chaos of the world. Our hearts yearn for direction, for clarity, for something more than just routine and responsibility. And in those moments, a question rises from deep within. Where am I going? Not just physically, but spiritually, emotionally, eternally. This question isn't new. Even those closest to the divine asked it. Thomas spoke what so many of us feel. Lord, we don't know where you're going. How can we know the way? It was a moment of vulnerability, of honesty, of deep longing to understand. And the response was not a rebuke, it was a revelation. I am the way and the truth and the life. Not a distant path, not a philosophy, not a set of rules to decode, but a living presence. The way is not something to figure out, it's someone to follow. And not just to follow, but to walk with, to trust, to hold on to when the ground feels unsteady. Truth is not a cold fact. It is a person who looks at you with compassion and calls you by name. Life is not a destination. It's a divine heartbeat shared with yours. A rhythm of love that continues even when everything else feels uncertain. We often look for signs, for confirmation, for clear skies before we take a step. But He is the sign, the light, the step itself. To know Him is to know where to go, even if the road is foggy, even if we walk it one trembling step at a time. But there's something else, something even more beautiful. He says, if you really know me, you will know the Father as well. And suddenly, we are brought into the embrace of something larger, something eternal. The divine is no longer far away or hidden behind rituals and mysteries. The divine is here, breathing with us, loving us in every moment. When Philip asks to see the Father, it's not out of doubt, it's out of deep desire. He wants to feel that closeness, to be certain. And in response comes one of the most tender truths. Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. The one who welcomes the outsider, the one who touches the untouchable, the one who forgives even while bleeding. This is the face of the Father. And then He says something that changes everything. It is the Father living in me who is doing His work. Not from a distance, not in shadows, but here, through Him, around us, in us. These aren't just words, they are living waters. He tells us, believe me when I say that I am in the Father and the Father is in me. And if that feels hard to grasp, He gently offers another path. Or at least believe on the evidence of the works themselves. The works of healing, of love, of compassion, of justice, of mercy. And here is the miracle. Whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things. Not because we are powerful, but because we are loved. Because He goes to the Father to open the way wide for all who follow in faith. Imagine that. Greater things, not louder or more visible, but deeper, more eternal. Ripples of love that move across generations. Forgiveness that breaks chains. Kindness that disarms hatred. A heart that chooses peace when anger is easier. And He adds, whatever you ask in my name, I will do it, so that the Father may be glorified in the Son. Not to grant our every whim, but to fulfill the purpose of love through us. We are not left alone to figure this out. We are invited into a relationship, a communion, a holy friendship, and it grows even more intimate. If you love me, keep my commandments. And I will ask the Father, and He will give you another advocate to help you and be with you forever, the Spirit of truth. Not just a comfort, but a guide, a presence, a fire that never goes out. And the world may not recognize Him because the world looks for power and control. But we who seek with open hearts, we know Him because He lives with us and within us. He promises, I will not leave you as orphans. We are not abandoned, not forgotten, not left to drift. He is coming to us. Again and again, in every sunrise, in every act of love, in every whisper of hope, and as he speaks, there is a holy quietness, a stillness, because something is about to be revealed, something the world cannot see, but the heart can feel. There is a moment in every soul's journey when silence becomes deafening, when prayers seem to vanish into the air and hope feels like a fading light. In that space of stillness, the question echoes, "Am I alone?" And then softly, a voice within reminds us of a promise not made by man, but by the eternal. "I will not leave you as orphans." This is not merely a poetic sentiment. It is a declaration, spoken by the one who sees beyond our fears, our doubts, and even our deepest despair. It's a vow of presence, a divine nearness that holds us even when everything else seems to fall apart. "I will come to you." Indeed, these words carry no condition, no requirement. They are wrapped in grace, breathed into being by love itself. And though the world may not see, may not believe, those who walk by faith feel it, like warmth on the skin of the soul. The truth is radiant. Because I live, you also will live. Not just exist, not merely survive, but live fully, deeply, eternally. That kind of life cannot be bought, earned, or replicated. It is gifted, a divine spark passed from the heart of heaven into our own. He says, "On that day you will realize that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you." Imagine it, an unbroken chain of love flowing from the source through the Son and into us. We are not distant creatures hoping for scraps of grace. We are part of something divine, carriers of light, vessels of eternity, and it deepens further. "Whoever has my commands and keeps them is the one who loves me." It's not about perfection. It's not about religion. It's about relationship. About responding to love with love, living it, reflecting it, choosing it. To love is to listen. To love is to live as if each action carries the imprint of heaven. And for those who do, the promise becomes personal. "The one who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I too will love them and show myself to them." He does not hide. He reveals. But then comes a quiet question from the heart. Why do you reveal yourself to us and not to the world? It's a question born from longing. Why not show the whole world? Why not make it undeniable? But the answer is gentle. "Anyone who loves me will obey my teaching. My Father will love them, and we will come to them and make our home with them." The divine home is not a place. It's a heart, a soul that welcomes the light. The world seeks signs in the sky, but heaven finds its dwelling in the hearts that say yes. And for those who refuse that love, who close themselves to it, he does not force himself in. Love never forces. Love waits, love calls, love remains, and then comes a gift unlike any other. The Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you all things and remind you of everything I have said to you. The Advocate, the Comforter, the breath of the divine, not a concept, not a myth, a living presence that whispers truth when we forget, reminds us of light when we're lost, and strengthens us when we fall. And then, perhaps the most beautiful words of all, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives." The peace he offers is not a pause between battles. It is not the silence before another storm. It is deeper. It is sacred. It is the kind of peace that holds your hand in the valley and sings to your soul in the dark. So he says again, for those who need to hear it twice, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. Do not be afraid. The one who goes to prepare a place also prepares the heart. The one who speaks of the Father also reveals him in every act of love. And the one who departs does not leave emptiness but fullness, a spirit alive, guiding, dwelling." And now, something begins to stir. Not just comfort, but calling. Not just safety, but purpose. As if the very breath of God is awakening something long hidden deep within. If these words touched you, if they reminded you of a presence that never leaves, please join our community. Click like and subscribe to be part of something greater, where faith is shared, peace is nurtured, and love connects us across every distance. Tell us your name and where you're from in the comments. We'd love to send you a blessing in our next message. You are never alone here. There is a divine rhythm to life, one not found in noise or speed, but in stillness and connection. It speaks not through power, but through growth, not in flashing lights, but in quiet roots. And it begins with this truth: I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. There's something humbling in this image. We are not the center of the story. We are branches, extending from a source far wiser, far stronger than we could ever be alone. The vine is life. The gardener is love. And we are part of a sacred design. But even love prunes, not to punish, but to make room for greater life. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes so that it will be even more fruitful. Pain is not always loss. Sometimes it is preparation. What we thought was being taken away was in fact being made ready for something more, for something deeper. And still, he says, you are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. He doesn't wait for perfection to call us his. We are already accepted, already washed in the truth of his voice. The only thing he asks now is this: remain in me, as I also remain in you. This is not a demand, it's an invitation, a quiet plea, a promise of unbroken presence. It is in this abiding that life flows. The branch cannot bear fruit on its own. It was never meant to. It draws everything from the vine. In the same way, we are not meant to do life alone, not meant to find joy alone, not meant to fight the darkness alone. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. What does it mean to remain? It means staying, even when it's easier to leave, trusting, even when the world shakes, listening, even when silence surrounds us. It means breathing in divine love, moment after moment, and letting it become the essence of who we are. I am the vine. You are the branches. He doesn't just give life, he is life. And when we stay connected, something holy happens. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit, not just survival, but fruitfulness. Kindness that multiplies, compassion that spreads, peace that echoes in every room we enter. But apart from him, you can do nothing. Not because we lose all function, but because we lose all meaning. We become disconnected, hollow, like a branch that withers, beautiful once, but now dry and fragile. He warns not out of fear, but from love. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch that is thrown away and withers. But he also gives this incredible promise: if you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish and it will be done for you. Not because he is a genie, but because when we abide, our desires align with love. Our requests are rooted in goodness. And the Father delights in giving what brings life. This is to my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples. Fruit is not just success, it's transformation. It's the evidence of abiding love. It's peace that endures, joy that overflows, mercy that cannot be explained. And just when our hearts begin to wonder, am I truly loved like this? He whispers again, as the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. The same eternal love that flows between Father and Son now flows into us. We are not guests, we are beloved. He doesn't say, try harder. He says, stay in love, stay in grace, stay with me. And then, gently, he adds, if you keep my commandments, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and remain in his love. This is not control, it's communion. It's about walking together, living as one, holding hands with holiness. And suddenly we realize he wants us not just to survive life, but to enjoy it. I have told you this, so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. This is the fruit of staying, joy that fills the empty places, a joy not born of circumstance but of presence, eternal, unshakable, whole. But what if this joy isn't just for us? What if it's meant to overflow into others? There is a love so deep, so radiant, that it cannot remain hidden. It flows like a river from heaven's heart, moves through the quietest places of our soul, and changes everything it touches. This love has a name, and it has a command. Love each other as I have loved you. It's not always easy. To love in a world that wounds, to forgive in a world that forgets. But he didn't ask us to feel it, he asked us to live it. Because this love is not a feeling, it is a decision, a movement, a fire that burns not to consume, but to warm every heart that comes close. And he showed us how. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. This is the standard of heaven, not applause, not perfection, sacrifice, compassion, giving of ourselves, not for recognition, but because love makes it impossible not to. Then he says something that changes our identity forever. You are my friends if you do what I command. Not servants, not followers in the shadows. Friends, called close, spoken to with intimacy, invited into the very heart of the divine. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything I learned from my Father, I have made known to you. We are not left in the dark. We are not kept at a distance. The secrets of heaven are shared with us, not because we earned it, but because we are loved. He continues, you did not choose me, but I chose you. Let that settle in your soul. You were chosen. Before the fear, before the failure, before the world named you anything else, you were chosen by love himself, and not just chosen, but appointed. Appointed to go and bear fruit, fruit that will last. Your life has meaning. Your kindness echoes beyond time. Your words, when rooted in love, become seeds in the hearts of others. This is the legacy of the chosen, to love so deeply that eternity is touched through us. And again, he affirms, whatever you ask in my name, the Father will give you. Because when love leads the prayer, heaven leans in. And then, as if all the wisdom of eternity could be summed up in one divine sentence, he says, this is my command, love each other. That's the message, that's the mission, that's the mirror of God on earth. Love, quiet and powerful, tender and unshakable, present in every smile, every act of mercy, every choice to forgive, every prayer whispered in the dark. You have been loved. You are loved. Now go and love. And when the world seems uncertain again, when your heart needs reminding of who you are, of why you were made, of where you belong, come back to these words. Let them live in you. Let them guide you. Let them become the light you walk by. The journey of faith doesn't end here. There is more to discover, more to feel, more to become. Before you go, take a moment to like this video and subscribe. It helps us grow a community of hope, where hearts are healed and faith is renewed. Leave your name and your city in the comments. We'd be honored to bless you personally in our next message. Your presence here is a gift to us. And now, don't stop here. There's a new video waiting for you. It holds a message that could be glorious and life-changing. All you need to do is click the video that's now appearing on your screen. You are one step away from something divine. Thank you for being part of this journey. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for choosing to believe again. Amen.